The hero is shocked. He is back in time before the university entrance exams. In the class, everyone is preparing for the exam, which will take place in 25 days. He is horrified by what is happening. A guy in a panic screams that he only wants to be reborn after entering college. At this time, a portal opens from which horrible monsters appear. It becomes clear that this is an invasion from another world, which happens from time to time. Powerful monsters threaten human civilization. In response, humans have developed a beast gene system. By injecting beast genes, they awaken monster power and gain genetic talents. These warriors are humanity's only hope. As a result, warriors have become highly respected and privileged. The entire world has entered an era where combat power decides everything. A warrior fights a huge, ferocious monster using a sword and some supernatural energetic power. Another warrior stands over the defeated enemy. The process of moving between worlds and embedding memories in Yi Haye is shown. Then Yi Haye, apparently a high school student, suffers from a nightmare while holding his head. In class, 2 students mock him, calling him a loser and doubting his ability to pass the college entrance exam. The girl wryly advises the guy to drop out of school and become a laborer. The boy reflects that the previous owner of this body was not very popular. He recalls that he had a tragedy with his parents, because of which he abandoned his studies and training. A classmate accuses him of looking at her. The guy justifies that he was just thinking about it, and is upset about the inheritance he inherited, a bad reputation. The teacher announces the start of the genetic modification serum injections and encourages the students to believe in themselves, reminding them of the 3 years of preparation. He also addresses those who were not serious about their studies. Guy is surprised but determined to right the wrongs of his predecessor. He's ready to take responsibility. The action takes place in the gene injection room of a high school. A group of students are discussing what abilities he can get. Someone jokes about the buttock beast. Students are presented with a serum to awaken the genes of magical beasts. After the injection, they will receive a random gene and awaken its power. The stronger the physique, the more powerful the gene. The lecturer encourages the students to remain calm when the energy surges. The names of the first students are called, and they are injected. A group of people reacted strangely to the injection. Yi Hai injects himself, determined. The teacher is surprised that he has no reaction. The people around him laugh at his lack of change. A girl taunts a guy who doesn't seem to have passed the test. The guy is annoyed and remembers that she was the instigator of the bullying. Suddenly he feels something strange. A system message appears saying that he has received the infinite monster template. The girl continues to bully, but Yi Hai transforms, radiating energy. In a hoarse voice, he orders her and her companions to leave before it's too late. They are surprised and don't realize what's going on. The guy looks threatening. A powerful release of energy stunned the people present. Yi Hai awakened something incredible. The girl falls down, sickened by the powerful aura. The others also felt its effects and felt uncomfortable. The girl is surprised, violet energy hovering around her. The guy is puzzled, blue crystals glowing around him. He is thinking about whether there is someone stronger than him. He is. Enveloped in blue energy, he ponders about the monster template he received and the golden finger from the system. The other disciples are alarmed, remembering He, who they thought was a loser. They are amazed at how the latter had thrown everyone around him off with his aura, with his strength. He knocked out Wang Xing. The girl awakened a second-level magical beast, a fiery scorpion with claws of flame. He apologizes for causing a commotion during his awakening and complains that he wasn't listened to. They announce that all awakened third-year students must go to the testing building to determine the type of magical beast gene awakened and their martial arts level. A gene breakthrough detection device is shown that tests the magical beast gene and martial arts level. They announce the results of the awakening of the pedigrees. One student has awakened the bloodline of a speed beetle, level 3, and is now the first in the class. Another, the best student, has awakened an ice demon dragon bloodline, also level 3, and he is considered the future champion of the city. A girl has awakened an abyss sparrow bloodline, rare and level 4, the best in the entire province. Creatures with such bloodlines could wipe out almost the entire city. He pensively ponders why everyone has awakened 3rd or 4th level bloodlines, but he has an A-grade bloodline. Soon after, the next Yi disciple is announced. Yi displays incredible strength and a powerful aura, astonishing those around him. The crowd is ecstatic, admiring his strength and bloodline that allowed him to reach such a level after awakening. They believe that he will become very influential and want to get close to him. Number 1 is experiencing a huge breakthrough. His name is Yi. The screen displays information about a certain Yi He, 7th grade, level 3 martial apprentice. The bloodline of the beast is unknown. The people around him laugh and mock Yi He, thinking he is a weakling. They are sure that even a junior high school student could defeat him and doubt that he even has a bloodline. They consider all of Yi Hai's previous accomplishments to be nothing more than nothing. Yi Hai himself walks away, disappointed and depressed. He realizes that the pattern has not been detected. Something activated the Infinite Monster Template tooltip. A guide to improving this template has appeared, completing quests or increasing reputation. You can get additional monster templates in the same way. Number of attempts, 0. He hums thoughtfully, realizing that his template rank might be different from the others, and that means something. He realized that if he met the conditions, he could endlessly create monster templates. Excitedly, he imagined himself as the king of monsters. At school, a young man asks his teacher to allow him to take a leave of absence to prepare for the university entrance exams on his own. The teacher, sipping a drink, is skeptical of the idea and doubts that the student will actually study at home. Yi Hai, on the other hand, is determined to improve his knowledge, explaining that he is far behind in the program and needs intensive training to catch up with the others and have a chance of admission. The teacher convinces the student that he needs to go to college to become a warrior. He doubts Yi Hai's ability, believing his base is too weak for the exam, and advises him to prepare for the retake next year. Yi Hai vehemently objects, assuring him that he has awakened a powerful bloodline and will succeed with hard training. Looking into the student's blazing eyes, the teacher hesitates but agrees on the condition that the student will return to him next year for retraining. Soon we see the warrior training center. He walks and ponders the fact that he has some startup capital after his parents died and he got insurance. He thinks about how to increase his power, either to pump up as a warrior or to increase his compatibility with the Temora template. Yi Hai remembers that according to the data, compatibility with the monster template starts at 1 point, but Temora has 3. The young man realizes that Temora's template absorbed the genetic awakening serum and gained 2 additional compatibility points. A guy, content and determined, is thinking about buying a gene serum. He thinks it's a more effective way to improve his abilities than grueling workouts. Yi Hai hurries over and puts his student ID card against the turnstile, but suddenly his eyes go wide with surprise or shock. Everyone around him awakened his bloodline. After awakening Demora's Mad Flame template, he gained a unique sensory ability, the life magnetic field. He senses the life signals emitted by other beings. Yi senses the chi and blood of the warriors, blazing within them like a furnace, and the beastly roar of their bloodlines. He can barely contain his thirst for battle. After all, Mad Demora is the king of beasts in their world, destined to conquer all life on the planet. But for now, he is a newcomer and can only suppress Demora's battle bloodline. When he becomes stronger, he will show the world what it means to be the king of beasts. Suddenly, he is called out by a girl. He looks at the girl awkwardly and is reprimanded. Yi Hai apologizes. The girl calms him down, explaining that he probably just awakened his monster gene. The guy explains that he's looking for a genetic cure at the Warrior Center, but got lost. The girl is surprised that he's already using the cure at such an early stage. The guy asks if this is normal. The girl explains that the genetic medicine is expensive and can be addictive, reducing its effectiveness. She advises waiting until the bloodline is at its limit. The boy asks about the price of the potion. The girl replies that only an initial potion for 400,000 will do for him. The guy is shocked by the price and asks about a discount. She offers him her card for a discount. The young man thanks her and says goodbye. He then spends a huge amount of money at the Warrior Hospital and the gun store. Guy is experiencing a powerful burst of energy, seemingly related to the Mad Flame Demola Beast template. His compatibility with this template increases. He is pleased with the sudden jump in his characteristics, feeling empowered. However, he notices that with each use of the gene potion, the effect becomes less pronounced. He realizes that further amplification will require more effort. The young man is impressed with the progress he has made, comparing it to the years of training of others, and anticipates activating the power of his Daimel bloodline. A guy, confident in his abilities, thinks he can be the best on the exam. He activates some cheat mode and goes to a secret dimension. There are rifts of different levels of danger, from S to E, where monsters live. The higher the rank, the stronger the monsters. The creatures from S-class rifts are out of human control and pose a huge threat to the real world. A young man with a sword behind his back walks down a deserted street. He ponders that this secret zone has fewer people than he expected, probably, because it was explored long ago and all the treasures have already been taken away, leaving only weak beasts for training newcomers. The young man walks up to the front desk and says he has booked a ticket to secret area number 3. The staff member gives him the ticket and asks him to sign a waiver of liability in case of death. Looking at the shimmering portal, the young man realizes that the rift to the secret zone is in front of him. With a determined expression and burning eyes, he jumps into the portal, declaring that this is the beginning of his journey to the title of King of the Beasts. Yi Hai is in some unusual place and marvels at what he sees, noting that it is much more impressive than in the textbooks. He then notices a creature that looks like a red rabbit with fangs that sneaks up on him. The creature turns out to be a rank 1-fang rabbit, and it attacks. Yi Hai prepares for battle. He suddenly grabs the rabbit by the ears and destroys it the next moment. Taking out the magic core, he assesses its value and reflects on his earnings. Yi Hai is pleased with its efficiency, comparing the income to that of ordinary people. Deciding that the cores of low-ranked beasts won't bring much money, he searches for a stronger opponent and meets a huge insect-like creature. The young man clutches the knife tightly with a predatory grin. The appearance of this monster is clearly unexpected to him. The action takes place in the secret realm of Ancheng, the Thermometer 3, Class E. A giant, toothy, plant-like creature attacks. Yi He with his sword fends off the attack. He recalls the information from the Monster Encyclopedia, realizing that the belly of the demon beetle is his weak spot. Suddenly, the monster attacks, creating a spinning attack. In that case, Yi He releases a powerful energy beam at his opponent. The monstrous insect fires projectiles from its stingers. The boy is surprised. He dodges the attack, clearly annoyed. Yi Hai complains about the cost of his suit. The young man realizes that he can't handle this insect at his current level of martial arts. He blames the original body he fell into for his poor academic training. In this case, the young man decides to cheat. The power awakens in the hero, enveloping him in a blue glow. He looks incredibly strong. His power grows. A monstrous maw with sharp teeth opens, ready to attack. But our hero is ready to deliver. The final blow, moving towards the monster. The hero destroys a monster that looks like a huge insect with a powerful blow. Apparently, he used some kind of transformation that greatly increased his power. Now back to normal, he feels the heat of a jet engine and tries to deal with the effects of the transformation. The hero's new sword is corroded by demon bug poison. He is hungry after his first monster hunt and didn't bring any food with him. Suddenly, he smells a pleasant aroma. It is the beetle's magical core, which also happens to be a green rank. The hero absorbs the nucleus. His compatibility with the demon emperor increases. He is furious that he spent a lot of money on a genetic potion that only gave him 1% compatibility, while a single magic crystal increased it by 0.3%. He decides that magic crystals are more profitable and goes hunting. The next day, he activates the field of life. After reaching 9% compatibility, he realizes that the white magic crystals no longer increase it. He has 20 white and 1 green magic crystal that he is going to sell. The girl is amazed that a simple schoolboy has collected so many magic crystals. Yi Hai ponders the rules requiring 1/10 of the loot to be given away, but is still happy with the sum of 200,000 credits. There are 9 days left before the college entrance exam. The group is preparing for a mission in the Ancheng class, D Secret Area Turf 4. They discuss the mission for the blood jade flower, confident of success since they already know the approximate location of the flower. One of the participants, Chen, is injured and won't be able to join. Because of this, there are only 5 people in the group, and they need 6 to enter the secret area. Captain Lin reassures the others by informing them that he has found a new fighter through an agency. This is a level 2 fighter, Lin He Yi. Hai confirms that he is a level 9 martial arts student under the alias Dad's Law. Mentally, he confesses that he bought fake IDs to join the team and enter the secret D-class area after spending a lot of money to do so. He doesn't really like his alias, but he's resigned to it, as a real name would violate copyright. His more experienced teammates warn him that with his level, he is not suited for this mission, but allow him to observe and learn. The main thing is to stay out of the way. He agrees. Yi Hai is pleased that the team has clarified responsibilities. Before the mission begins, the team sets out to find the blood jade vine flower. A group of people in a car are driving through the desert. They are searching for the jade blood flower, which, according to the tracker, is in an oasis up ahead and guarded by a monster. Yi Hai reflects on the fact that the previous search location was in a rainforest, and now they are in the desert. and concludes that the secret worlds are not connected to one particular world. Suddenly, they are attacked by Earth demonic rats. The captain orders Hood to deal with them. Hood accepts the order and goes into battle. Hood attacks with swords. Explosions on the ground are then shown. Yi-Hai watches the explosions. Hood confirms that the target has been destroyed. Yi-Hai realizes how throwing a dart fills his partner with combat energy, turning him into a bomb. Soon, the group disembarks from the car and sets off on foot. The group prepares to attack the monsters in the oasis. Yi-Hai asks why they are walking instead of driving. The leader explains that the noise of the engine might scare off the sensitive monsters. The captain assigns roles. Xiao Xia should throw a special grenade to lure the beast out. Xiao Wu and Hood should set traps. Old Liu provide covering fire. The leader of the group is going to go to the front of the group and orders Yi-He to just watch. The young man agrees to stay on the sidelines. The pheromone grenade explodes. An earth dragon appears. Someone warns the newcomer of the approaching monster. The man stands on the ground, sticking his swords into the ground. His hand clutches the hilt of his weapon. Soon the captain is attacked by a huge dragon. The dragon is defeated. People are running through the deserted area. One of them shouts, "Captain Lin!" Captain Lin urges to keep moving. Someone warns Captain Lin of danger. A giant clawed paw attacks him, but in the next second, Yi-Hai soars into the air. Yi-He defeats the magical beast with his crushing attack. The people around him are amazed by his strength, as he is only a beginner. They begin to praise his powerful strike, marveling at the crushing technique. The girl thanks the fighter for saving him and offers to become companions. Soon, someone pulls out a dragon heart, reporting to Captain Lin the destruction of the Earth Dragon. The group rejoices over the extracted Earth Dragon soul essence. Yi-He marvels at the value of the loot. Another explains its importance in improving something. Next, Captain Lin reflects on his recent difficult victory over the dragon. Suddenly, someone attacks Captain Lin with a knife. The people around him are horrified. Hood's attacker runs away, cynically stating his intentions. Soon, a large man, apparently influential, named Ho Peng appears. He removes his glasses, clearly ready for action. The group discusses a bald guy who is robbing others in the dungeons and targeting them. One of the group is poisoned. The captain accuses the other of betrayal, asking how the other knew of their whereabouts. Yi Shuai understands and says that Hood relayed the information through the dartboard. He taunts the newcomer, telling him to study for his exams instead of flirting with death. Yi-Hai confidently replies that he's going to be the best in the exams. Hood, infuriated by his words, attacks. Yi-Hai considers this behavior to be sheer insolence. The guy with the blue energy charge in his hand is going to deal with this group. Ho Peng seems impressed with the guy. He orders Hood to kill the young man. A hail of blades rains down on Yi-Hai, but the young man releases a powerful energy. Blast. Hu-Day disappears. The boy is left alone on the battlefield. Suddenly, Hu-Day attacks from above. Yi-He uses the Mountain Destroyer battle technique. He applies a new skill. The new attack literally pierces Hu-Day in the chest. The people around him are amazed and question whether this guy is really a martial arts beginner. Yi-He himself looks calm and confident as Hu-Day falls. Yi-Hai uses the gene technique and is asked what family he is from. He replies that he is from the Damonra clan. His opponent scoffs and says that the gene technique won't help overcome the difference in fighting strength. His opponent then uses the bloody activation of the Black Bear Terror Tyrant and the Peak Crusher battle technique. Yi-Hai observes this. The young man attacks the other's legs with an energy beam. The bald man screams in pain, grabbing his leg. The large muscular man tries to grab the young man, who realizes that his atomic breath couldn't even damage his opponent's ankle and is impressed by the strength of the second-level fighters. Ho Peng concentrates his energy by hitting the ground, but Yi-Hu renders behind him and attacks. His fist glows with blue energy. He prepares to deliver a crushing blow. This punch is accompanied by a bright flash of blue energy. Soon Ho Peng finds himself defeated on the ground. The team is amazed at the strength of this newcomer. The wounded man accuses the young man of using genetic engineering that releases a toxic gas and curses him, promising punishment. The young man clenches his fist, shrouded in a blue energy glow. His eyes are glowing, his face is tense, and he is clearly angry. He resents being cursed and demands an explanation from the bald man. The action takes place in a stadium. An airship and a small airplane are flying in the sky, throwing confetti. On a stretch, they congratulate the students. Someone addresses the students with greetings and wishes them good luck in enrolling. In a martial arts school, a man in a yellow jacket excitedly announces something to the crowd. An elderly man with a beard is watching. Someone is filming what is happening. It is announced that the exam will last 3 days, 2 days of preliminaries. And on the third day, those who pass the preliminaries will compete. The exam takes place in a one-on-one duel format, with the winner moving on to the next round. The rules of the school tournament have been announced. Pupils will have to pass several stages of competition. First, there are qualifiers, where everyone fights 3 times. Then, final elimination fights until the winner is determined. The presenter addresses the group of people with an inspiring speech about the importance of examinations for the future of mankind. Then the start of the exams in Ancheng City is announced. 2 are fighting. One leaps to attack with a leg shrouded in a purple glow. The other, standing on the ground, blocks the blow, his fist glowing gold. There is a fight in ring number 4. A man attacks a woman, his hand glowing with greenish energy. The woman is surprised to block the blow. A girl is standing on platform number 6. There was a problem. One of the participants of the qualifying round on this platform did not show. Up man in yellow jacket is surprised to see only one of the announced fighters in the arena. Looks like the other fighter is late and could be disqualified. The girl with dragon wings and tail stands confidently, ready to fight. She remembered that she wanted to take revenge on someone named Yi, he using her fire lizard, but the opponent didn't show up, which upset her. A group of people are discussing someone who is absent. A woman wryly suggests that he is frightened and hiding at home. The man next to her, listening in surprise, raises his hand in a gesture of mild bewilderment. Another man, looking serious, suggests that such a coward is not worthy of high school, and that he should do something easier. A man blows a whistle and gestures that time is up. It is about the end of some kind of trial. Suddenly, the 2 men felt someone approaching. A bright blue ball of energy flashes into the sky, shrouded in dark smoke. Someone asks in surprise if it's a person. He flies back, enveloped in bright blue energy. The girl is unable to contain herself from the sound wave, barely standing on her feet. The girl questioned, "What the?" She hadn't had time to realize anything yet, but her opponent's foot was already near her face. He kicks his foot powerfully from bottom to top. She flies away from the blow with her arms outstretched. The guy put his hand to his forehead like a visor and rolled his eyes in frustration. Apparently, he had to put something off until next year. A woman with a face contorted with horror gasps. She calls Yi Hai by name. Yi Hai, watching the scene, asks in disbelief if it's really over. The crowd cheers, admiring Yi. He strengthens spectacular fighting style. Yi Hai defeats his opponent with 1 punch. The spectators are impressed and think it is a divine technique. The guy with the crazy grin says that he was given the blood jade fruit as a thank you. He mentions that the blood jade fruit took some time to improve his physical condition and offers to watch for further developments. The tournament bracket has been unveiled. In the semi-finals, Husband of Heaven and Flower Claw faced off. Sky Husband defeated Common Pattern, and Flower Stiletto knocked out Flower Claw. The finalist has yet to be determined. Yi Hai attacks, energy punching the large man, and he flies into space. The man makes a sudden movement with his foot, from which a blue glow emanates. Yes, that's the same man who was smitten with Yi Hai. The crowd cheers, awed by the young man's strength and speed. They marvel at how quickly and decisively he tackles his opponents, defeating them with a single blow. They call him the one-punch Superman, Inchi. He clenches his fist, showing determination. Yihe from Ancheng No. 1 High School won 3 battles and advanced to the 3rd round. People addressed the student, urging him to stop and apparently explaining something about Eastern University. The guy is surrounded by people with phones offering to add a contact and telling him about generous scholarships and grants at their university. He smiles embarrassedly. They ask him if he has a university he wants to attend. From the looks of it, they are actively trying to recruit him. He is clearly surprised to hear something about a certain university. Shinyi University? He thinks, squinting his eyes. The young man decisively points his thumb up. Yi Hai is determined to go to university. He brags about making it to the finals. Passers-by don't pay attention to him. Yi Hai is downstairs, sweating, indignant that they don't believe him. He justifies himself by talking about the prestige of the university. Yi Hai says that in a city of this caliber, only the best can get into some special place. He smirks and declares that power decides everything, and after he wins the competition, he'll see what they have to say. 2 men in suits address a young man. One of them is holding some kind of document. They inform him that his skill level needs to be rechecked. The student seems surprised. The bald man is surprised by Yi Hai's dramatic increase in level. He asks how it was possible to progress so fast in 3 months, hinting at cheating. Yihae asks if he is suspected of using cheats. In response, he is told that they investigated and found out that he often visited dangerous places before. Exams. He is asked about the reason for these visits. Yihae dramatically presses his hand to his forehead, remembering his father's words. He excitedly quotes the admonition that to surpass humanity, you must stop being human. He explains that this is why he constantly fights in mysterious places, honing his skills and pushing his own limits. Both men are shocked. Looks like Yihae did something horrible, basic, fundamental. The protagonist watches. In horror, as two men in business suits hurriedly run away, he realizes that he has become the object of scrutiny. Someone encourages Yihae through a video link. A man in a hat and a woman gesticulate joyfully. Another man cheers them on too, promising to throw a party. It seems to be about exams and university admissions. The young man leans back and stares at his phone screen. He thinks of his parents and close friends. He looks pensive and a little sad. He complains that he has no one to help or cheer him up. He feels lonely and unwanted. The bald man with glasses tensely clenches his fists as he watches the fight on the screen. He is worried and encourages Yihae. He's a newcomer to the modern city. It is a new entrant in the competition, the first round of qualifiers. He recognized a student from Ancheng No. 3 Middle School named Luo Xuan. He is considered the best in his class. Luo Xuan's older brother is an 8th rank warrior, and his parents are also warriors. Luo Xuan's opponent is doomed. The young man looks at him with challenge. Yihae motions for him to make the first move. Xuan asks with a smirk if he knows who he is, then adds that knowing or not knowing it will have no effect on the outcome of the competition. He's furious, surrounded by a halo of energy. Xuan says that Yihae will lose, and he is determined to win. Xuan rushes forward towards Yihae in the blink of an eye. The attack is accompanied by a bright flash of energy. The hero is attacked by a clawed hand shrouded in blue energy, but Yihae looks serious. Standing in a fighting stance, Yihae's eyes light up. The young man assesses his opponent. Not bad, but not enough. Xuan was terrified, mouth open in a scream, face contorted in pain. Yihae abruptly swung his hand, creating a gust of wind. A powerful energy punch glowing blue rained down on Xuan. He falls down, shards flying from the impact. The guy with burning eyes grins evilly. The winner, Yihae from Ancheng First High School, is announced. And it seems someone is not happy with the results. Xuan is defeated. He is lying on the ground, breathing heavily. Apparently, it was an unexpected knockout. People admire the young man's skill and ease. Some even confess to wanting to bear him, children, impressed by his strength and superiority over others. The crowd is enthusiastically watching Yihae. People shout excitedly while waving their arms. Someone admires the strength and skill of what is probably an athlete, calling him Superman. Some support the contestant named Yihae, confident that he will win and advance to the finals. Soon the medics are carrying Xuan on a stretcher. The other guy is watching with a concerned look. The blue-haired guy with a predatory look is determined to defeat Yihae in the final round. He is confident in his choice and is determined to fight. In the university's control room, a man orders someone to find a complete dossier on Yihae within half an hour. He is answered in the affirmative. The action moves to another arena. The second group of competitors continues to compete with great intensity. Someone admires the girl's battle, calling one of them a brilliant beauty. The red-haired girl points at her opponent with disdain, saying she dislikes her emotionless, robot-like face. It turns out that she is Kai Shaolin, known as the Queen at Ancheng Second High School, a girl in light-colored attire with long, dark hair. It seems to be a tall flower from a safe city. The onlookers admire the beautiful girl's fight. Suddenly, the judge announces the start of the competition. The redhead promptly attacks the other, shouting something like, "Let's see how you'll sing when I pin you to the ground." The second heroine takes the blow. A girl with a determined expression is using some kind of technique. Magic energy is swirling around her. She is using the heavenly waterfall technique. A girl with red hair fends off a powerful energy strike. She tries to defend herself by extending her legs, but the blow clearly took her by surprise. The girl in white turns around and attacks with an energy stream. The red-haired girl has no choice but to dodge, but suddenly, the tigress attacks with a powerful energy attack. She shouts to her opponent in white to start fighting in earnest. He attacks using some kind of magical technique, a bright blue glow emanating from his hand. The redhead was sure she had hit it, but what is it? She is terrified. Her hand is stuck, trapped by the air currents created by the enemy. She can't get it free. The dark-haired girl attacks the red-haired girl with a blob of green energy. The opponent tries to block the attack. The man in the yellow jacket shouts excitedly and clenches his fist. He is sure that such a talent allows him to enter university without exams. But suddenly, the redhead awakens her beast. It was a huge tiger with burning eyes. The girl had unexpectedly awakened the power of a 3-stage tiger king. Controlling. Royal blood is difficult, especially one as fierce as the shadow tiger, but the girl has great potential. Now the redhead was sure there was no way she could handle her new power. The girl with violet eyes looks puzzled at her rival, mouth slightly ajar, and from the looks of it he has found a solution or a way out of the situation. The girl attacks furiously, her eyes blazing, her claws open. She is confident of her superiority over her opponent, believing that no warrior below her level can compete with her. Two girls come together in a dynamic fight. One, with long blonde hair, attacks, leaving a trail of fire from her weapon. The other, with dark hair and dressed in white, dodges the blow, releasing a powerful stream of blue energy. The tiger girl swiftly attacks the other girl. The second girl flies back from the blow, enveloped in turquoise energy. The moment of truth has arrived. The redhead decides to finish off her opponent with a single leg kick. But suddenly our princess started using a new technique. With a touch of her finger, she prevented her opponent's attack. A powerful blast of energy shook the arena, raising a cloud of dust. The clash of auras caused smoke to billow around the arena. A crowd of people with tense faces watched the aftermath of the battle. Someone asks if he can make it to the end. Frightened faces can be seen in the crowd. The tiger girl walks forward, resolutely. She is still within the confines of some sort of arena or battlefield. But suddenly, something wrong happens. Her eyes roll back, and the audience notices something wrong. The second she falls to the ground, and our winner walks forward, as if nothing had happened. Our beauty defeated another girl named Kai Shaolin in a duel. Apparently, the winner was a rare talent, since she was able to defeat an opponent with the same rank of awakened royal blood so easily. The audience was thrilled to see such a fight, and it is not surprising, because the princess has a good pedigree. There's a grand opening coming up. The sign reads Level 8 and something important. 3 spherical devices stand on a dais covered by a red cloth. Apparently, a presentation or opening ceremony is about to take place. Yi He, on the other hand, slips her hand into that orb. Apparently it's some kind of lottery. Pulling out a balloon with writing on it, he realizes it's the name of his next opponent, Dai. A large, muscular man holds up a toss ball and, smiling, introduces himself as a high school student. He addresses Yi Hai. The young man also gives his name and school. Judging from their remarks, they both drew lots with the same mark, and now they are to fight. A muscular man points upstairs. He offers to watch the first fight before their own fight in the second round of the tournament. The first fight between Luo Si from Qingfeng High School and Chu Zhou from Ancheng High School is announced. The screen shows a fight. One of the fighters is defeated. The other stands over him, surrounded by an aura of energy. 2 people are watching this fight. One of the spectators looks puzzled. The outcome of the fight seems to be a foregone conclusion. Yihai asks in surprise, "Chu Zhou?" The other replies in the affirmative and with slight bewilderment, reminding him that they are both from Ancheng First High School, and the latter can't help but know Chu Zhou. The announcer then declares Chu Zhou from Ancheng First High School the winner. The principal of Qingfeng Private High School angrily clenches his fist. He is clearly annoyed and exclaims something like, "Damn, lost from the start." Yi Haye asks the bulky man about his impressions of sparring. The man smirks smugly, putting his hand behind his head. He asserts his superiority, mentioning that he is the chairman of the high school martial arts and that his 2 comrades together could not defeat him. The man stares intently, his gaze piercing. He declares that Yi Hai is actually the strongest fighter. He claims to have had keen senses since childhood. The bully senses that inside Yi Hai there is a monstrous power like a dormant volcano. The man shows a thumbs up with a satisfied smile, motioning for Yi He to go, because it's time for them to go. The second round of the 8-strong tournament begins. A large man with blue hair looms over Yi Hai. The young man looks up confidently. Yes, it's a sports competition between high school students from Qingfeng and Ancheng. But who will emerge victorious? The Ancheng High School martial arts tournament is heating up. Yi He and Shenguan clash fiercely, their powers equally matched. The crowd watches in shock as the intense battle unleashes powerful energy. Shenguan grins through the blood, mocking. Yi He supposed strength Shenguan powers up, shielding himself with martial energy. Yi He prepares to strike. Yi He acknowledges Shenguan's strength, ready to take on the challenge. Shen Guan unleashes his clan's dragon martial arts, summoning a fiery beast. With explosive force, Shen Guan launches a devastating dual fist strike. Yi He's eyes widen. He's shocked by Shen Guan's incredible speed. Yi He is struck midair by a powerful blow, unable to dodge in time. Yi He coughs up blood, overwhelmed by Shen Guan's fierce attack. Yi He slams into the floor, the impact shaking the entire arena. Another fighter charges in with a raging bear spirit to defend Yi He. Shen Guan crashes Yi He into the ground with brutal force. Yi He realizes Shen Guan's strikes combine physical and internal martial force. Yi He steadies himself and prepares to fight back with full power. Shen Guan locks Yi He in a hold, blocking his ability to use martial energy. With a fierce throw, Shen Guan sends Yi He flying across the stage. A blazing tiger spirit roars behind Shen Guan as he unleashes his full might. Yi He is struck by a devastating kick, launched through the air with violent speed. Shen Guan strikes with overwhelming force, his spirit energy forming a giant fiery beast. Yi He declares he won't lose, summoning all his strength to resist. A massive energy blast erupts as their powers collide head-on. Shen Guan laughs wildly, enjoying the pain and declaring dominance. Emergency medics rush in, prepared for the worst after Shen Guan's brutal combo. A sudden force stirs the air as something unexpected begins to shift. A witness's eyes widen in shock as a mysterious light appears. A massive wave of blue energy bursts out, shaking the entire arena. A terrifying dark beast form emerges, covered in lightning and scales. With glowing eyes and crackling power, he reveals his true monstrous form. Spectators are stunned. This is a rare full beast transformation in a high schooler. The beastly fighter steps forward, his awakened bloodline power overwhelming the field. An elder examiner notices an unusual spike in energy from the battlefield. Everyone panics as Yi's core radiation skyrockets off the charts 9999999. A powerful barrier is activated to contain Yi's overwhelming core energy. Spectators are stunned. Yi, his bloodline awakening is unlike anything they've seen. Yi, he smirks. In his beast form, realizing no one on this planet knows what he is. Shen Guan begins bleeding again, realizing he can no longer contain Yi, his energy. Shen Guan unleashes his own terrifying beast form, radiating golden power. Yi, he descends in his awakened form, locking eyes with Shen Guan in a final showdown. Both warriors charge up their ultimate martial arts techniques, power surging violently. Yi He unleashes a devastating blue slash, tearing through Shen Guan's defenses. Shen Guan's arm is shredded. He barely manages to block the attack in time. Yi He hovers with unstoppable energy, telling Shen Guan it's over despite his strength. Yi He and Shen Guan face off, both unleashing powerful bloodline energy. The opponent senses Yi He's strength has become uncontrollable after awakening. Yi He dives from above, lightning crackling across his beast form. He smashes down with a rapid barrage, overwhelming Shen Guan. Yi He unleashes a golden dragon-shaped fist. The attack rushes toward Shen Guan with immense force. Yi He grabs his arm and flips over him. He slams Shen Guan straight into the ground. Yi He's fist crashes down like a meteor. The impact explodes, sending shockwaves across the arena. Shen Guan manages to land, barely steady. Yi He stands unfazed, lightning sparking from his body. Yi He lands heavily, cracking the ground beneath him. He releases a massive burst of blue energy. Shen Guan takes a hit but stands stunned. Then suddenly, Shen Guan drops to the ground and surrenders. Yi He shouts in frustration, annoyed by the delay. He lowers his claw, calming down, then exhales the leftover energy with discomfort. The match ends. Yi He is declared the winner. Online, fans joke about how he didn't even go all out. Social media explodes with his clips and praises. A VIP watcher proudly bets everything on Yi He. The principal yells, furious that Shen Guan surrendered. He threatens to cut support unless Shen Guan repays everything. Shen Guan grabs his shoulder, silencing him instantly. He explains he surrendered to avoid permanent damage. Shen Guan warns him strength can't be controlled with threats. The principal is stunned and quietly agrees. The top 4 finalists of the tournament are announced. Yi He's school dominates, taking 3 of the 4 spots. The school leader laughs, expecting a promotion. Fans cheer as the semifinals draw ceremony begins. Yi He draws the same lot again, Group A. His opponent, a strong girl, also draws Group A. The semifinal match is Seiti He versus Liu Qingju. Fans go wild for the most hyped battle yet. Liu Qingju unleashes a divine phoenix glowing with fierce energy. Her power alone crushed a top-tier bloodline user with ease. Yi He counters with a Thunder Beast, equally terrifying. His bloodline awakens, fully rivaling hers in strength. Viewers quietly agree both sides are equally matched. The arena is silent. Tension building for the semifinals. Yi He and Liu Qingzhu step forward as their names are called. The referee signals the match begins. Yi He steps forward through the explosion without a scratch. Liu Qingzhu smiles calmly, unshaken. Yi He's aura rises, forming a terrifying beast in the smoke. She tightens her stance, hoping Yi He is strong enough. Yi He releases a huge burst of steam, covering the whole stage in smoke. The crowd is confused, unable to see what's happening through the thick fog. The commentator excitedly wonders how the genius Liu Qingzhu will counter Yi He's unexpected move. He speculates whether Yi He has activated some kind of bloodline awakening. He watches as Liu Qingzhu's silhouette calmly stands within the smoke. He realizes her skills and battle intelligence are far superior, making prolonged fighting dangerous. Knowing this, Liu Qingzhu charges in at full power with a blazing energy attack. Liu Qingzhu surrounds herself with energy, preparing to counter Yi He's attack. Yi He charges forward at full speed, eyes glowing with intensity. He suddenly spins into a sweeping attack, aiming to catch Liu off guard. Liu blocks midair, surprised by his unexpected move. A giant shadowy dragon roars behind him, unleashing terrifying pressure. Yi He leaps in with a powerful energy punch, aiming straight at Liu Qingzhu. Spectators criticize Yi He for being ruthless, while Liu Qingzhu struggles to hold back the attack. Her energy bursts out, but it disrupts her timing and stance. Yi He strikes her directly with a fierce energy-infused blow. Liu Qingzhu is hit hard and has no time to recover. Yi He follows up with a devastating overhead attack as she falls. Yi He tries to land a powerful claw strike, but Liu Qingzhu dodges at the last second. He unleashes a massive energy wave, aiming to overwhelm her. Liu Qingzhu calmly analyzes the technique, recognizing his energy-infused claws. She flips over the energy slash, narrowly avoiding its impact. Then, with perfect timing, she counters with a piercing energy strike of her own. He launches a relentless flurry of attacks, striking with overwhelming force. Liu Qingzhu braces herself, shocked by his stamina and relentless power. She recalls her two martial techniques, one focused on defense. The secret scrolls of her clan flash in her mind, defensive and offensive arts. If she could activate even one, she could escape this desperate situation. But Yi He doesn't give her any opening to counter. She realizes that if this continues, she'll be forced off the stage and lose. Liu Qingzhu holds her guard, eyes sharp with determination. Yi He grips a mysterious purple feather, dark energy swirling around it. He notices the shift and braces herself as tension builds. Yi He activates his final trump card, his eye glowing with ominous power. The feather releases its energy, triggering a powerful awakening. A mysterious purple flame bursts open above Yi He, catching him off guard. Liu Qingzhu appears midair with glowing wings, her body transformed by immense power. She activates her bloodline, awakening the power of the Phantom Sparrow. Her eyes glow as she warns Yi He she can't control her strength in this state. Yi He smiles confidently, saying that's exactly what he wanted to hear. He reveals he was only using half his power until now and is ready to go all out. Yi He suddenly senses danger from behind as purple energy flashes. Liu Qingzhu swoops in with full force, releasing a devastating strike. Yi He roars with power, countering with his explosive energy. Their attacks collide in midair, creating a massive shockwave. The audience is overwhelmed by the blast, shielding their eyes from the impact. The shockwave continues to ripple across the arena, leaving the crowd in awe. Liu Qingzhu soars through the sky, her wings slicing the air with force. Her glowing eyes widen as she senses something terrifying ahead. Yi He unleashes a monstrous surge of lightning energy, shaking the entire arena. He transforms into a terrifying beast-like form, glowing with deadly power.